Hare Krishna, we are reading from Teachings of Queen Kunti. We are somewhere in the purport. We began yesterday, the fourth prayer, Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. This is Srimad Bhagavatam 1.8.21. Let me therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto the Lord, who has become the son of Vasudeva, the pleasure of Devaki, the boy of Nanda, and the other cowherd men of Vrindavan, and the enlivener of the cows and the senses. So we are continuing to read from the purport of Srila Prabhupada. In the beginning of her prayers, Kunti Devi said, Namasya Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakriti Param. I offer my obeisances unto the person Purusha, who is Prakriti Param, beyond this material manifestation. Thus, in the beginning, Kunti gave us the understanding that God is the Supreme Purush, the Supreme Person. He is not impersonal. He's a person, but he is not a person of this material world or this material creation, and he does not have a material body. This is to be understood. So Kunti Maharani, she's helping us understand the position of Sri Krishna. She's helping us to understand Krishna in truth, that God is a person and he's the supreme person. He has a form. He has a form and he's a person, but his form is not like our form is. Right now, we are inside this material body. And so we are having this material form, which is full of defects. But Krishna, he is the Supreme Lord. And so his form is transcendental. His form is not material. This is to be understood. The poor fund of knowledge held by the impersonalists cannot accommodate how the Supreme Absolute Truth can be a person, because whenever they think of a person, they think of a person of this material world. That is their defect. Why should God be a person of this material world? So now we are unable to understand, oh, God has a form. How can that be? How? But because why? Because we are thinking, oh, I have a form, and my form is material, it's full of defects. There's so many defects in this, senses are imperfect, commit mistakes and illusion and cheating. So if I am like this, and if God is like this, then how can be then God? He's not God then, This God has to be something higher, something greater. But because we are thinking that his form is like ours, that is our fault. That is what we are not able to understand. We are thinking he's a person, same like me. But no, he's the supreme person. He's the absolute truth. Therefore, in the beginning, Kunti Devi cleared away this misunderstanding by saying that the Lord is Prakriti Param, beyond this material creation. Because we are thinking, oh, why? How can God be like having a material form? He has to be something great, something unimaginable, something beyond. So she's saying, yes, he is beyond the material creation, yet he is a person. And now by the grace of Kunti, we can understand that this supreme person, although Alakshayam, invisible, has now visibly appeared as Krishna. So he's invisible, but by his grace, he has appeared as Krishna. We can't see him right now. We can't. He's invisible to us, but when our eyes will be anointed by love, we will be able to see him. Kunti Devi says, Krishnaya Vasudevaya. The word Vasudev is sometimes understood to mean the all-pervading. The impersonalists have this conception of Vasudev, and therefore Kunti points out that Vasudev, the all-pervading, is Krishna. Yes, God is all-pervading. God is all-pervading, Vasudev. And who is this all-pervading person? That is Krishna. Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hriddeshe Arjuna Tishtati. Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is present in everyone's heart. Thus, he is all pervading. So, Krishna is there in your heart, my heart, in the heart of all the living entities. He's in the heart of all the animals, all the trees, all the birds, all the fish. He's also within the atom of every, he's also within every atom of this material universe. That's how he's all pervading. He's everywhere. He is everywhere, all pervading. Krishna, the original person, exists in three features: as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the all-pervading Paramatma, the Super Soul, and as the impersonal Brahman effulgence. So the original person, Krishna, he has three features. Three features. One, that he is Bhagwan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that he has a form. Second, as the all-pervading Paramatma, Super Soul. So he's Krishna himself who's sitting in Golok Vrindavan in Krishna Lok. And at the same time, he is inside each and everyone's heart as the Paramatma. And he has entered into the atom of every universe. That is his all-pervading feature. And he is also the light. Why? Because the light is coming from his body. So as we say, oh, the sunshine, we never say, oh, the sunshine is in my room. We say the sun is in my room. Where is this? How come the sun is in the room? We would be burned to death if the sun was in our room. But it's the sunshine that's in our room. So we use it in the same terminology, right? The sun and sunshine, because it belongs to the sun. So the light, the Brahman effulgence, also is belonging to the Supreme Lord. Those who are interested in Bhakti Yoga have no interest in the impersonal Brahman effulgence, which is for common men. If one were an inhabitant of the sun, what interest would he have in the sunshine? That would be most insignificant for him. Similarly, those who are advanced in spiritual life are not interested in the impersonal Brahman effulgence. Rather, they are interested in Purusha, the Supreme Person, Vasudeva. So as we progress in our spiritual journey, the first realization of God is that God is light. Then, as we go further in our spiritual journey, we realize that he is he is not light, but this light is coming, is just his feature. And that, oh, that is not only me, there is a Supreme Lord, Paramatma, who is in everyone's heart and everywhere. We are not in everyone's heart. We are not. We are just inside here, one place, inside this body. I am right now in my body. I am not in your body. And you are not in my body. You are right now in your body. But Krishna, he is in your body and my body as the Paramatma. And not only in your and my body, but everyone else's body also. But I am not in everyone else's body. I am just right now in my body. That's all. So I am the Atma and Krishna is the Paramatma. And then when we make further progress, we understand, oh, this Paramatma, I have a relationship with him. I have an eternal loving relationship with him. I have a spiritual form. And that is what the Bhakti yogis are interested in, to revive this relationship, to act in that relationship with the Supreme Lord. Rather, they are interested in Purusha, the Supreme Person. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, this realization of the Supreme Person takes place after many, many births, Bahunam Janmanam Ante. So Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad Gita, the Gyanis, the impersonalists who are attached to the Brahman effulgence, try to understand the absolute truth by dint of their knowledge, but they do not know that their knowledge is imperfect and limited, whereas Krishna, the absolute truth, is unlimited. We cannot approach the unlimited by our limited knowledge. That is not possible. So if I'm trying to understand the unlimited with my limited material mind, I will not be able to understand the unlimited in truth. I won't be able to, because my resources are not capable of giving me the complete idea of the truth. My um, my experience is going to be limited to my resources, and my resources are limited. So my experience will be limited. My resources are imperfect. So my knowledge will be imperfect. My experience will be imperfect. So what do I do? What do I do? And Krishna is saying, if I take this path, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyante Vasudevam Sarvam Iti Samahatma Sudurlabha. Krishna is saying, if I take this process, one, because I am trying to approach the unlimited with my limited resources, my journey towards him is going to take many, many births. Bahunam Janmanamante, after many, many births. And what is the point after many, many births? What is the perfection of that knowledge I will come to? That Vasudevam Sarvam Iti, that Vasudev is the all in all. And then also, if I take this path, Samahatma Sudurlabha, such a great soul is very, very rare, very rare. It's very difficult and very rare. So by the grace of devotees like Kunti Devi, we can understand that the all-pervading absolute truth, Vasudev, Paramatma, is present as Krishna, Krishnaya, Vasudevaya. This realization of Vasudev is not possible for impersonalists very easily. So here, by the grace of Kunti Maharani, I'm able to understand who God is. I just have to hear her attentively, submissively. I have to have faith in her words that she is not going to cheat me regarding the truth. We can see her personality. Why would a personality like Kunti Devi want to cheat? Why would she? What would she gain by cheating? And looking at her character and her personality, she's all loving. She's a pure devotee. When we study her, we can see her personality. So this is what we have to understand, that who we are receiving knowledge from. Whose words are we putting faith in? Because we are always afraid, oh, I will be cheated. But this knowledge that somebody is giving me, what is their personality? What do they stand for? And here Kunti Devi, all loving, all loving. She understands Krishna, so she's speaking about Krishna to us. She's saying that he is Vasudev, he is Paramatma, he is Krishna, he is right now in front of me, and yet he is the Supreme Lord. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 7.19, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvam Iti Samahatma Su Durlabha. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. The word Mahatma means broad-minded. One who cannot understand Krishna is not broad-minded, but cripple-minded. If one becomes broad-minded, then by the grace of Krishna, one can understand Krishna. So we need to open up our minds to be able to receive this transcendental knowledge. Then we will be able to understand Krishna. So the choice is ours. Do we want to surrender unto Krishna after many births, or we want to surrender unto Krishna today or tomorrow or in this life or next life? The choice is ours. But Krishna is saying, one who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, means the perfection of knowledge, the perfection of all knowledge is to surrender unto Krishna. Why? Because he's the cause of all causes and all that is. The process of understanding Krishna is Sevan Mukha, by rendering service. Sevan Mukhehi Jivado. So how can we understand Krishna? How? How? By rendering service to Krishna. But when we render service to him, he reveals himself. Realization of Vasudeva is possible by rendering service, beginning with the tongue. The tongue has two functions, to vibrate and to taste. So if one repeatedly hears and vibrates the Hare Krishna mantra and tastes prasad, food offered to Krishna, by this very simple method, one will realize Vasudeva Krishna. Krishna will reveal himself. It is not that by our endeavor alone we can understand Krishna, but our endeavor in loving service will make us qualified. And then Krishna will reveal himself. Swayam eva sfurati adaha. So how do we understand the spiritual, the absolute truth? By service, by serving. And the service begins with the tongue. Tongue, by the tongue, we are speaking, by chanting, and we are tasting. So if we speak about Krishna, we hear about Krishna, chanting and hearing the Hare Krishna mantra, we speak and hear about Krishna's glories, we taste Krishna prasad, we are rendering service to Krishna. We are rendering service. And in this way, Krishna will reveal himself. So we make the effort. We make the effort. And by seeing that, oh, this soul is making an effort to understand me. This soul is making an effort to come to me. Krishna reveals himself. It's like, when a child is there and the child is trying to lift up something very heavy, which is beyond his capacity. But he's really making a lot of effort. He's trying something to lift something or to reach something which is very high up. Then what does the parent do? The parent says, oh, this child really has the desire to do this and is trying so hard. Let me help him. The parent will come from behind, lift up the thing, or will pick up something which is higher and give it to the child. For the child, it is impossible to do it by himself. Impossible, beyond his capacity. But by looking at the desire of the child, by looking that the child is struggling so hard, he really wants it, okay, let me help him. So this is how Krishna is. We reveal our desire to Krishna by our service. And then Krishna gets attracted. He says, oh, this soul really wants to understand me. That's why it's endeavoring so hard. Let me reveal, let me give them the knowledge. Let me, reveal myself to them. Let me take away his ignorance and show him the truth. Is that okay?
So what Kunti Devi is trying to tell here in the first is that Krishna is a person, he's a Purush, right? And then that we should serve him. And the service begins by hearing and chanting.
Yeah. And so the reason why to serve is because Krishna is the absolute truth. He's the absolute truth. He is God himself. Now, we are inside this material body. So how can we approach the spiritual with this material senses that we have? How? We are not able to, right? But when we begin to serve Krishna, Krishna sees that, oh, this person has a desire to get to know me. And this is the reason we encourage everyone to chant. Just say even one time Hare Krishna, because Krishna says, this person said Hare Krishna. He wants to know me. Then, even though we may have no intention to know Krishna, we may not even know what we are saying, but Krishna takes it that, this soul, after he had forgotten me for millions of births, but right now he's remembering me. Really? Then Krishna makes all arrangements, more and more arrangements for the soul to give up the ignorance, to be situated in the knowledge. Krishna reveals himself more and more, makes him understand his true position. Yeah. And so that's why we encourage everyone to just one time even say Hare Krishna, then the spiritual journey starts. Because Krishna takes that, oh, this soul is interested now to come back. And he makes the arrangements.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, and service begins with the tongue. Just by saying Hare Krishna, we are serving Krishna. By tasting Krishna Prasad, we are serving Krishna. And so it's not a difficult thing. It's not that we have to build planet, we have to create planets to serve Krishna, to please him, or we have to do something which is beyond our capacity to serve him. And then also when we like to do something, so when we like to do something, for example, I like to create something, I like to design something, I can use that in Krishna's service. I can use it in Krishna's service. Like Chandra Didi, she's so great in web development, all this, this technology parts and the YouTube and the website, not website, but anyway, the YouTube part of it, or the technical part of it, or to build the slideshows, or to build the thumbnail. She's really good, and she's using that in Krishna's service. So that is Krishna's service. And then the more we serve Krishna, so even what we like to do, we engage it in Krishna's service, and Krishna sees that sincerity and he reveals himself more and more. So, yeah. So hearing and chanting, of course, has to be done regularly, means every day, every day. We'll stop here for today. Thank you so much for listening in. Thank you so much for joining in. Kunti Maharani ki jai, Shila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.